Hi everyone. Yes, we are putting a very special attention to adjudication because I think this is the direction for most of us in the future lah. So I think this is something worth for us to really put some focus on The other methods are mediation, arbitration. These are mediation is considered as a softer method, and arbitration is considered as anything. It's quite tough. It's very, very tough. Okay, it's only a step downwards and as a legal proceeding. It's almost like a legal proceedings, but it's just one step down. It's more private in that sense only. Yeah. So adjudication is something in between. Okay. So adjudication in the construction dispute, right, is the process of referring, to a third party. It's one way of resolving dispute uh, in the construction industry or in any construction project So it typically involve an impartial, neutral third party known as the adjudicators who actually will assess the issues of the disputes and make a binding decision for the party involved. So it is a binding decision. It's not necessarily final. So meaning that if the parties are still not happy with the adjudicator's decision, then they can actually refer to court, refer to arbitration, or have another form of settlement between the two of them. Binding essentially means that if there's no more issues, they are binded to follow through, with the decision of the adjudicators. Okay, so adjudication now is a dispute resolution method that is mainly it's often in a contractual requirement. It's a contractual requirement, but statutorily, there is a way to execute adjudication. So Malaysia, UK, it is law. There is law pertaining to adjudication. But of course, contract can also call for adjudication. Like for example, mediation, there's no statutory, requirement on mediation, but it is a contractual requirement. So meaning that if you sign a contract, you must follow mediation if it's stated in the contract. Okay. But outside than that, it is not binding. It's not legally, it's not law for everybody. That means everybody who has dispute, any dispute, you can go for, you need to go for mediation or, yeah. So that is what we mean by statutory and also contractual. So if it's stated in a contractor, then we have to follow So meaning that you cannot use other method besides adjudication or besides whatever is stated there. You see, so it's a very good method actually because of the speed. Basically these adjudicators, they will serve your project. You see, so he or she is going to be a consistent adjudicators in your project. So they know your project, they know your project party. It's a very tailor-made for your project sort of things. Okay, so instead of like arbitrators, you need to go and find arbitrators that nobody knows, nobody can know them. It's like you don't choose people that you know and familiar with. When it comes to when it comes to arbitration, it's agreed upon, it's suggested by the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators and all that. So it is not exactly something that is comfortable in that sense, and then the case will be like based on the one case, but adjudicators can come to your site, can come to your project again and again and again and again as long as you have a dispute, you see. So they're more familiar with you, you don't need to brief them on project background anymore, sort of things, they kind of know who's the parties involved and they will go straight to the issue. So it's actually a very a speedy, it's a very good fast process in that sense. And then the people chosen usually will be exactly the right people, as in, engineers, architects who are experienced in your type of project. In West Malaysia, like TNB, the energy project, they will choose people like the electrical engineers, or power supply, the sort of people who are in this industry for many years. So when they come to look at a case, it's really, really fast. You can make them understand very fast. It's very difficult to explain things to lawyers. You see, so lawyers and judges, in a sense, you spend so much time trying to explain to them the basic terms, you see. And here, basically, adjudicators, they already know. They should know all the basic stuff, okay? So, yeah, it's also very flexible because they can come to your site. You can meet at a very neutral location if you want, But site, they can come because all the documents are there, So site documents are there, so it can be resolved quite quickly, and the project can be continued without causing any significant delays or disruption. Because with arbitration, straight away, everything will stop, dispute starts, everything will stop. But in this case, you still can resolve your dispute and your project still can be ongoing while you work out this with the adjudicators. So, yeah, I mean, you must understand how your contract, if your contract states that you must use adjudication, then you must use adjudication, okay? So actually, there are two types of statutory adjudications. In England is the Housing Grants, Construction and Regeneration Act 1996, and whereby here now statutory we have the SEPA Act, 2012. These are all statutory adjudication, and contractual adjudication now is only seen in PAM, not in PWD form, not in CIDB form, not in IEM form, only PAM form. Okay. So some background of adjudication. Okay. So yeah, I mean it started off with this DR, okay, the Housing Grants, Construction and Regeneration. So this is one of the most significant developments in the United Kingdom, actually. So this legislation provides statutory provisions for adjudication in construction contracts in England, Wales, and Scotland. Okay, so the Act aims to address issues like payment dispute and delays in construction projects. Anything that has to do with delays and payment and all that, you can ask adjudicators to come in. The Act actually allows you to just directly go to whether you have a contractor adjudication or under the contract. Okay, so this one here, for this Act is actually complement with the Prompt Payment Code. This is all in UK Then adjudication. So this one provide resolving of payment issues very quickly And also this is all in UK, so it's all actually based in UK. Right. So adjudication become a very integral part of the construction industry in UK and the dispute resolution framework So then slowly it becomes contractual adjudication as well. Yeah. And then after that, the success of application in UK actually leads to many countries around the world, especially well, in UK, New Zealand, Australia, and of course Malaysia. Okay. So this one is also adopted in Malaysia. This is through a legislative reform. Okay. So in Malaysia, when we become, because we are, our legislative there's any new development, the initiative from UK legislative reforms are all similar. So it draws that it draws from the UK HGCR Act. So Malaysia started, that there becomes, the stakeholder becomes increasingly aware of this. They become increasingly see the good thing that is happening with the UK side, and then so Malaysia government actually recognize this as a dispute resolution method and make it a legislation. So through legislative reform, Malaysia in 2012 introduced the Construction Industry Payment Adjudication Act, we call SEPA. It's modeled after the UK HGCR. Okay, so then SEPA becomes it's a statutory framework for adjudication in construction contracts in Malaysia now. Okay, so it is already statutory. There is a legal, this is an act. There's a legislation on this method of dispute resolution in the country.